The fading summer sun was dipping below the horizon as I pulled into the small town of Willow Creek. I had been driving for hours, eager to stretch my legs and grab a hot meal before continuing my solo road trip. The main street was quiet, with only a few shops still open in the early evening. Up ahead, I spotted a cozy-looking diner, its neon open sign glowing warmly in the dusk. I parked a few blocks down from the diner to get some exercise, and I headed down the sidewalk towards the diner. Along the way, I passed a boarded-up old school building. Behind the school was a small playground, hidden in the shadows. As I drew closer, I felt an unexpected urge to explore the abandoned playground. I stepped through an opening in the chain-link fence and walked across the weed-split asphalt toward the equipment. The swings creaked eerily in the breeze, moving ever so slightly back and forth. The merry-go-round and jungle gym were rusted and faded, but what really caught my attention was a crumpled piece of paper lying beside the slide. I picked it up and smoothed it out. It was a child's drawing done in crayon, a family portrait depicting a mom, dad, brother, and little girl holding hands in front of a house. But the figure of the girl had a large X scratched through it. I stared at the drawing, a feeling of unease washing over me. Just then, I heard it. Faint laughter and playful shrieks drifted across the playground. I spun around, searching for the source. "Hello?" I called out. The laughter moved around the perimeter, always remaining just out of view. The hair on the back of my neck stood up and a chill ran down my spine. This place felt wrong. As I turned to leave, a small voice behind me said, "Hi, mister." I whipped around to find a young boy of about 10 standing there. His clothes were dirty and he had a worn teddy bear clutched under his arm. "I'm Alex. What are you doing here?" he asked. I hesitated, then held up the drawing. "I found this over there. Does it belong to you?" The boy's eyes lit up as he took the paper from me. "My family," he exclaimed. He pointed to each figure, telling me their names. When he came to the girl, he smiled sadly. "That's my sister Anna. She's gone now, but she's still my best friend." I asked what he meant. "The other kids say she disappeared," he replied. "But I know she just went to a new place and will come back one day. I can still hear her sometimes." His words sent a chill through me. I needed to get to the bottom of this. I asked Alex more questions, but he didn't answer, and decided to run off instead. I said a quick goodbye and headed to the diner, glancing back once to find the boy had vanished without a trace. Inside, I took a seat at the counter and ordered some food. The waitress, an older lady named Betty, could tell I wasn't from around here. "Passing through, hun?" she asked. I nodded, then gestured towards the school. "What's the story with that place? It seems kind of deserted." Betty clammed up immediately. "It's been closed a while," was all she would say. Just then, an elderly man sitting nearby turned towards me. "That old school's got a dark history," he said grimly. "About a year back, a young girl went missing. Last place she was seen was that playground out back. They searched for months but never found a trace of her." My blood ran cold. "Did she have a brother?" I asked. The man shook his head. "Nope, only child. Sweet little thing, Anna was her name. Her disappearance darn near broke that town. People say her spirit still haunts those school grounds." I sat in stunned silence. The uneaten food in front of me had lost all appeal. As I paid my bill, my mind spun with questions. I had to go back to that playground. The sun had now dipped below the horizon, shrouding the town in dusk. The streetlights flickered on as I made my way towards the fence lined with trees. The old man's words echoed in my mind. People say her spirit still haunts those school grounds. But what I had seen was no spirit. Was Alex just an imaginative boy having fun making up stories? Or was there something far more sinister at work here? I called out Alex's name over and over, my voice swallowed up by the growing darkness. The empty playground sat silent and still, no glimpse of the lively boy or strains of playful laughter. I searched every inch, finding nothing. The wind whistled through the trees, leaves skittering across the asphalt. It felt as if prying eyes were watching my every move. The oppressive weight of the school's history hung heavy in the air. As I climbed back through the fence, I looked over my shoulder. I saw 2 of the 3 swings moving back and forth. I convinced myself that it was just the wind, and that the stationary swing must have been rusted stiff. It was a good enough explanation, and I didn't care to explore any closer.